appointment, which I'm very excited about. My therapist brings her therapy dog with her every week. But the last 2 weeks, Mr. Odin has not been there because he wasn't feeling well. So I am very excited that he will be there. It is something comforting about just a dog sitting next to you or against you and just comforting you while you're doing therapy. I don't have enough time to stop at Starbucks, which is actually okay because my therapist has a Keurig machine in her office and she always has a coffee ready for me when I walk in the door. I mean, top service, what can I say? So I will get my Keurig when I go to her office, and I will hit Starbucks on the way home, and then we need to water the plants. I've been seeding or sowing a lot of seeds over the past week or two. And I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but for Earth Day, I planted a lot of seeds in recycled containers. So we'll water those today and take a look at those and see if anything else is sprouting. And after we water those, I wanted to go online and find, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? I mean, to make a raised garden bed, like 4 posts and then just, I guess, 2x8s until you reach your desired height. But I just wanted to see what other kind of easy cuts and whatnot there were that we could use. That should be okay. And then I don't have to do it, but I was very graciously given a bottle of dog shampoo probably about a month ago, and I've been using it a few times on Zoe, who is a blue Doberman, and because she came from a puppy mill and she was inbred, because they wanted to keep that recessive blue gene going, which is, I don't want to call it a defective gene, but she has hair and skin problems. So when I got this bottle of shampoo, I was really happy because it is cruelty-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free, and I think 2 other things free. So I've been using it on her, and I've really noticed a difference in her, and I really like it. So I'm going to finally do the post on it now that I can make an objective opinion, and I'll get that up today. So we're already having board meetings for deciding the board for next year for the PTO at David's school. And I don't know if you know, but I'm one of the co-VPs this year, and I'm going to put in for co-president next year. My bestie, sup Shannon, love you, is president right now, and she is moving on to high school. I mean, it's kind of rude, Shannon. You couldn't fail your kid just so that you could be president again next year with me? I mean, come on. What's more important, being with me on the board or your kid moving on to high school? So that is a few things that I have to do when I get home. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you when we get to therapy. Okay, well, we just left therapy, and I will pop a picture here of Odin, my therapist assistant. He is just the sweetest old soul. He's only 10 months old. Like, I'm just baffled by that. He's 10 months old, but he's just such an old soul, and he's so sweet, and he just, apparently he doesn't cuddle with everybody, but we're connected. I really want to stop by there's like 2 thrift stores that are pretty big on the way. I've been looking for like vintage potting pots. I like vintage ones. They kind of look really interesting, especially like the terracotta ones, or if they're the blue and white kind of look to it, something like that. Then I'll grab them, but that's it. So I might stop at 1 or 2 on the way home, and I think I'm also going to grab some Panera to go right when I get closer to my house, and bring home some lunch and start filling out that paper for the PTO board next year. I had a good time at therapy today. We did not do the trauma work again. It was kind of me just recapping the week and talking about how I feel about a few things. There's some stuff going on that I have not discussed here. Close family and friends know, and some regular friends know. Without getting into the nitty-gritty and the actual events, the reason why I have PTSD is something happened over a course of almost 2 years, with David in elementary school. I don't want to talk about the actual events just because that's not my story to tell, that's David's. And if he doesn't want to talk about it, then that's his decision. I will say this, that it was extremely difficult for us. We were pretty much broken as parents with everything that happened, and being mom and being the one that was in the building, because I was PTO back then as well, made it that much more difficult, and seeing some of it and whatnot was excruciating. And to this day I have flashbacks. I may smell something and it may trigger a memory. I may be laying in bed trying to fall asleep and all of a sudden it'll just come to my mind and I'll have nightmares. I have to learn my best to accept those memories, validate them, but then also learn how to deal with the trauma instead of just pushing it down or breaking down. There's got to be a middle. Like if you cut your leg, you wouldn't just ignore it or slap on a band-aid. You also have to clean it, put Neosporin on it, and then close the wound and bandage it. So you have to treat it. For me, for this many years, because Woodsy now finishing up 6th grade, I didn't deal with it. There were many days that I couldn't get out of my pajamas or off the couch out of just sheer not being able to process what happened or process where we were at that point. So when everything came to a head this year, because it all flooded back to him this year, which then in turn flooded back to me, it forced both of us to really just barrel at it head on. Basically, we both ran into that brick wall, which was a good thing, because sometimes if you don't just deal with things head on, they have a tendency to take over forever. And I didn't want that to happen to him. And I didn't want it to happen to me anymore. I was tired of living that way, and I was tired of living in fear and living in the world that everything is happening to both of us. And it was so liberating to say it all out loud and at least speak the words. Now we're in the process of, we've acknowledged it, but now we're healing and we're learning coping skills. I'm learning different ways to parent and different ways to help him help himself. Whereas before I wouldn't have done that. I would have just scooped him up and said, I'll take care of it all. And that's not good either as a parent. You know, you have to help them want to and help themselves, or else they become grown-ups that can't help themselves and are so used to everybody taking care of them that they don't succeed. And that was a hard pill to swallow for me too, because I didn't realize I was doing that. Therapy is not a sprint, it is a marathon. And that's okay. You're always repetition. You're always keeping up the skills. You're always continuing learning and teaching new tricks. So it's the same concept. You know, kids don't go to school for just 1 year and be like, oh, no, you know everything. It's an ongoing thing. And even once then you go and get a job as an adult, you're still learning things at that job all the time, right? So it's the same concept, but this is going to be a very long process, and that's okay, because I'm getting a little bit better. I'm acknowledging and working on things. I am doing my best, and that's all that I can ask for out of him and me, and that's where we want to be right now. So I am actually pulling into Harbor Freight really quick because I forgot that I needed probably either one really big paintbrush or 2 medium size. I am trying to dye a chair. It was free and I actually loved the shape of it. It's very 80s. I was like, yes, love this. But right now having something professionally reupholstered is just not in the cards. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna get me some fabric dye, like the kind that you tie-dye shirts with, and I'm just gonna dye it and see what happens. Worst case scenario, it's going in the unfinished basement anyway, so it's fine, right? So I'm gonna run into Harbor Freight, see if they have those, because it is on my way home. Then we'll hit the 2 thrift stores together and we'll see what we can find. Not bad. This one looks decent too, but look, it's like one for a Chihuahua. So cute. How cute is that? Do you think this would work as a potting bench? There's no shelf above it, but I could always hang a floating shelf. It's actually pretty nice. I could see like all the extra pots down there. super cute. It's only 150. Okay, well, I just left Harbor Freight, and I don't know that, even though it's a tool bench, it kind of looked like it'd be a cool potting bench, but because I liked how structurally sturdy it was. So I'm gonna have to think about it because I'm still looking at potting benches. But yeah, I did get my paintbrush. I just got something really cheap because I'm just gonna be putting on the fabric dye. Some guy walks in and they have a sign out in the front door that says masks are required to enter the store, which I had mine on even though I'm fully vaccinated. And he was like, y'all enforcing that mask thing because I can't wear one. I have a hearing aid. And she was like, dude, yes you can. Get a gaiter or get the one that ties behind your head. Like, you don't have to wear the one behind your ear, but yeah, you can. You just don't want to. You could totally tell that it was an excuse. It was just being stupid. Okay, well, I just pulled up to Panera to try to get something to go, and they're closed. I think temporarily, but I couldn't tell. A little bit of excitement just happened as I was on my way here. There was a massive police chase going down the road, thankfully on the other side of the street that I was on, but no joke, one car was booking it. They were qualifying for some NASCAR race of their dreams, and there must have been the entire Peachtree City Police Department behind them. It was crazy. And my friend's mom has a police scanner, so I texted her. I'm like, oh my god, what happened? You gotta tell me. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna get Chick-fil-A. I don't know, I might just go to the school alley and sit and, I don't know, maybe treat myself to a YouTube video or two. Hopefully this line is not that long. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hi, Christine. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I remember you.
Your nails look so pretty.
Thank you. All right. You're all set.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful day.
You too. So Peachtree City Life, there's a golf cart in front of me in the drive-thru, and I can't say that we haven't done that millions of times in different drive-thrus here. It's just the way we roll here in Peachtree City. There's school pickup lines just for golf carts. The high schools have golf cart parking for the kids. There's bridges, there's tunnels, there's golf cart parking at a lot of places. It's pretty cool. I honestly can say that I love it. I think by the time that I get out of here, because it's already 1:19, I'm not gonna have time to go home. And then when I get home from school with David, we can do like a little haul kind of thing just so I can show you what I got. And maybe you guys can help me decide on a new lampshade, because I think maybe a drum shade might look really good with it, but I don't know, there's so many other options too. So we'll see what you guys come up with. Thank you so much. No, wait, thank you. I just heard from my friend's mom, who has the police scanner, that there's a major accident now, so we don't know if it's the same, if it was the NASCAR racer. I guess we won't know because, and I don't have enough time, I don't think, to go home and even use the little girl's room, so, or get Stella, which I would like to get, but she will also try to steal my french fries. That's not cool. I will give her one if she's a good girl, but no more. I'm just gonna go to David's school, and I am going to be the overachiever of the day and be first in line. Do I get an award? No. Is that really bragging rights? I don't think so. Then I'll get home, give him a snack, and get him, as he says it, switchy-swated with his homework, and then we can have a pretty chill night. I'm not even gonna lie, like, even I'm bewildered on this one. It's 1:46. There's already 3 cars here. I thought I was gonna be the overachiever for the day. Oh, Mike is calling. Gotta go. I made him water my garden right there, my flowers, and he's mad at me, so he's spraying the window. Okay, so this is some of the stuff that I got. This is one pot, terracotta, white, a brass one, but I like the swirls on it. I like the sides. I think it'll be pretty good. Look at this one. Isn't that pretty? This is gonna be so pretty with seeds in it. I love it. And then this one I thought would be nice on the porch, the screened-in porch. This was the only gardening book that I could find. Southeast Home Landscaping. It has some really good ideas, like for layouts and beds and whatnot, and that was only $1.50, so I couldn't pass it up. And then just this little white one, which I thought was also good for seeds. Another terracotta one, and I like that there's no lip and that it's just smooth. It's kind of nice, I like it. Look, another terracotta one. And this was $1.50. There's another white one for $1.49. Was it the same one? Yeah, look at that. Found two of the same. And it wasn't even the same store because I went to two different Goodwills. Look how pretty that is. I think I might hang this on the wall in my pink room upstairs. I think it'd be really pretty. And like I told you, here is the lamp that I got. I love it. It almost looks like a flower too, right? Like the petals. But tell me how hideous that lampshade is. Yeah, it's going in the recycling bin because I hate it. But I totally like the lamp. So let me know what y'all think as far as what kind of lampshade, and would you do a color? I'm almost thinking like a Kelly green would be beautiful. Maybe even in my office. I'm gonna go water my little sproutlings outside and I will meet you out there in a minute. You can see these are my sugar pea Norleys. They are just starting to open. You can see it right there. So cool. And my morning glories, actually that is open. That is open, and these are peat pellets. So I just planted cantaloupe and another thing of cantaloupe today. My marigolds, not so much yet, so fingers crossed. And then you can see more morning glories. These are sprouting. My cottage garden wildflowers, not so much. Morning glories are doing amazing. This is more cottage garden, and in here, that is a cosmos. Not so much. So I'm gonna leave that to greenhouse for a little bit. And these, I cannot remember what they were. This is trying to propagate succulents and a piece of hydrangea, but I don't think the hydrangea took at all. I actually think it's dead, but I'm gonna leave it for a few more days. And the succulents, I just put them in a few days ago. My monstera, I had to repot because I think it was getting root rot. So I just repotted it. I'm gonna see how it goes over the next few days. If it recovers, fingers crossed. Beefsteak tomato, and this is rose cuttings that I'm trying to propagate. So we'll see, fingers crossed. The grill is open because Mike just made wings. They were delish. This is garden sage. This is lavender seeds that I planted probably about a week and a half ago. So I think it should take a little bit longer to propagate. This lavender that we bought is doing really well. The cilantro is not doing bad, not doing great. I forgot what this was, but I just took it out of one of the mason jars and put it in here. But whatever it is doing great. Morning glory. Look at it. It is just, whatever these seeds were, they were amazing. And again, peat pellets. And then we bought some basil, which smells divine. What is this, spearmint or peppermint? Oh, lemon balm, yum. I think this is Mike's cocktail garden. Spearmint and peppermint, it's just so nice. And then, don't mind my deck, it is just spring, it's a mess. My parsley is not doing so well. I don't know why it's turning yellow. I'm not overwatering it, it's not too dry. But it's funny, it's like some of it looks really good and some of it does not. So if anybody has any ideas, please help. And then my lemongrass, I just put in that one, and I need another pot for here. That part is not doing so well. And that is our rosemary. So I think I'm gonna have to replant that, give it some fresh soil and maybe a different pot, or I might just put it straight into the ground and see what happens with that. So yeah, that's it. That is my container gardening for right now. And we will continue to work and see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out to me, and remember, thumbs up if you liked this, leave a comment below, and have an amazing day. Bye!